You scroll for hours through an endless feed of familiar faces, opinions, and art. Yet you feel an unexplainable emptiness, a profound and hollow loneliness. You argue with strangers in comment sections, but their words seem automated, repetitive, and lacking any real human spark, as if they were written by ghosts. This growing dread, this terrifying suspicion that you are the last real person online, surrounded by bots and algorithms, has a modern name: the dead internet theory. This is not a new fear, nor is it a purely digital age phenomenon. This specific horror of counterfeit humanity was actually documented in Japan centuries ago. This ancient psychological virus has an older, more elegant, and terrifying name. They call it the Noppera-bō, which simply means the Faceless Ghost. Today, we are not just telling a ghost story. We are tracing the lineage of a psychological plague, from its first outbreak in feudal Japan to its global pandemic in our digital world. The classic case file of the Noppera-bō almost always begins with a familiar scene: a lone traveler walking down a dark road who comes across a figure in distress. Often it is a woman sitting by a river, weeping into her hands. The traveler, driven by human empathy, approaches her, offering comfort and asking what is wrong. The woman rises, slowly turning towards them, still covering her face. And when she finally reveals herself, the traveler is met not with a face, but with a smooth, blank, terrifying void. But the horror does not end there. This is the genius of the Noppera-bō virus. The true terror is in the second stage of the infection, a stage that reveals its true nature. The terrified victim flees, running for their life, desperate to find another human being, desperate to confirm that their reality is still intact, that the world has not gone mad. They burst into a nearby noodle shop or a monastery, screaming their story to the proprietor, who listens patiently, seemingly unfazed by the tale of the faceless horror. Was it scary? The proprietor might ask, or perhaps, did her face look exactly like this? And as the victim looks up, they see that this person, this beacon of safety, is also faceless. This is the moment the virus fully takes hold. The moment the victim realizes the horror is not an isolated monster, but that the entire system, their entire reality, might be compromised. Let us perform the autopsy. The Noppera-bō is not a physical threat. It does not bite or claw or kill. Its function is far more terrifying. Its function is to be a mirror. Its horror is not what it is, but what it is not. It attacks the most fundamental hardwiring of our brains: facial recognition. We are programmed to find humanity in a face. We seek connection, empathy, and understanding by reading two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. The Noppera-bō presents us with a human form, but denies us the human connection. It is a social parasite. It thrives on the betrayal of trust. It lures you in with the promise of a human interaction, sympathy for a crying woman, only to reveal a hollow shell. The true horror is not the facelessness itself, but the sudden, violent realization that what you thought was a person is in fact just a thing, a perfect and terrifyingly empty imitation. And the second stage, the noodle vendor, is the masterstroke. It transmits the core message of the virus. There is no escape. You cannot trust anyone. We are everywhere. It transforms a personal terror into a systemic one. It is the fear of total isolation, the fear that you are the only real person left in a world of beautifully crafted, empty shells. Now, fast forward 300 years. This ancient Japanese virus has found the perfect host, a global nervous system designed to transmit information instantly: the Internet. The dead Internet theory is simply the modern name for a mass Noppera-bō infection. The virus has mutated, it has gone digital, and it is more potent than ever before. The first ghost, the weeping woman by the river, is the modern AI bot. It is the AI-generated art that looks beautiful but feels hollow. the chatbot that mimics empathy but has no soul. It is the spam account in your direct messages, using a stolen profile picture, pretending to be a real person, luring you in with the promise of connection, only to reveal an empty script. You engage with it, thinking it is human, and when you realize it is a void, you feel that same cold, specific dread that the traveler felt by the riverbank centuries ago. That encounter is a chilling reminder that this is not one ghost, but a million tiny, hollow interactions that now define your entire digital life. But what about the second ghost? The noodle shop owner? The one that reveals the horror is systemic? That, my friends, is the algorithm itself. After you have had a terrifying encounter with a bot, where do you run? You run to the public square. You run to Twitter, to Reddit, to YouTube, to tell everyone your story. You cry out, "Does anyone else see this? Am I going crazy?" And the platform, the proprietor, turns to you slowly, and it says, "We will show your story to people who feel the same." But in doing so, it shows you only that. It funnels you into an echo chamber, a perfectly curated reality of other terrified people, all screaming into a void that reflects their own fear. The algorithm, like the noodle vendor, is also faceless. Its only job is to reflect your engagement back at you, to keep you in the shop, to keep you ordering, to keep you terrified. The slop and spam we see, the endless, repetitive, low-quality AI content, is just a world full of digital Noppera-bō, all turning to us at once, showing us their blank, smooth faces. But the final, most terrifying mutation of this virus is not what it does to the machines. It is what it is doing to us. This is the stage the ancient legend never predicted. We are becoming the Noppera-bō. To please the faceless algorithm, we smooth out our own faces. We flatten our complex personalities into a recognizable, marketable brand. We chase trends we do not care about. We use filters that make us look like everyone else. We self-censor our true thoughts, afraid to be the one human face in a crowd of the void. The ancient Japanese legend was never a prophecy. It was a diagnosis. A timeless warning about a fundamental human fear, the horror of losing our identity to the system, the terror of looking for a real, authentic human connection in the crowd, only to be met with a perfectly smooth, algorithmically approved, and terrifyingly blank void. So, the next time you are scrolling and you feel that cold digital loneliness, ask yourself, are you the traveler running from the ghosts? Or are you the one sitting by the river, waiting for someone to approach, ready to show them that you, too, have no face at all?